Hello. Good morning. Let me go to the live chat so I can see. Here we go. So last night we started with this, and I'm going to continue where we left off. So if you haven't seen last night, you can go back and watch it again. And then let me just pull up. I think I might have it already up. Hang on. Yep. Okay. Here's where we were. So just quickly, 475 pages was of documents in the investigation of the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman were released by the FBI yesterday. And that's what we're reading through. And we're on page 33 of that. This is part 2. So I'm going to continue from there. All right. So this was let me start from here. Also, if Nicole and Goldman were two friends of his, why did he know everywhere that they went together in paper? But he kept saying they and not we. He did not hang out with them. Don't you think that this is a rather strange testimony? Please obtain a copy of the court records if you can and check it out. I'm afraid that soon all evidence will be gone. Did O.J. set his alarm before he took his nap? Did anyone check his alarm clock? Was it a snooze clock? How far does Goldman live from the Mezzaluna? Since the dog was heard wailing at 10:15, would it be reasonable to assume that Nicole and Goldman were already dead at this time? The neighbor did mention looking out then, but did not see a vehicle. Limo driver saw a shadowy figure. In a grand jury, he testified that it was a dark male. In a preliminary hearing, he was questioned on this and returned a comment that it was a dark person. Could it be that it was a person in a dark suit in the shadows and that the skin color was presumed to be dark? That the person was presumed to be O.J.? Is it possible that the killer had been hiding out in the brush by O.J.'s playground and had been flushed out by the limo driver, driving from one entrance to the other, and then he ran down the walkway trying to escape when he ran into Redacted's AC unit? He then removed the glove to feel for bruises on his now injured body when Redacted mentioned the noise. He overheard and returned to the shelter of the playground where it was more open and less confining, but was halted by the limo driver still backing up. Could he have left the walkway after Redacted first started down it, knowing that he had no escape, seek the shelter in the playground, and then decide against possibly being seen, to then head back to the shelter afforded in the alcove by the garage and the house, walking back to the corner of the garage in the dark just at the same moment that O.J. awoke in the house and turned on the house light? The shoe prints in blood had a distinct heel and sole separate. Testimony of the investigator. Would O.J. not wear tennis shoes for a quick getaway? Were those the prints of dress shoes such as those worn by men at the Mezzaluna? Sent 7/8/94 to Shapiro and to FBI in Los Angeles, care of the night supervisor. Hang on one second, there's something playing on my phone over there, so I'm going to look at it. Hang on one second because... Okay. Someone was actually like calling my name on something there, but I don't know if she was talking to me. Okay, so June 23rd, 1994, 9:30 a.m. At 6:30 a.m. this morning, I called my favorite uncle and discussed this theory with him. He said it's very possible, and that he does believe that. Then this is the same thing, right? Yeah, we already read this. I think they put the same. Sometimes that happens. They put the same paper in, the same page. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, we already read that. That was the first part of that letter. So this is registered mail. This is the return receipt requested. Copy of Bruno Magli shoe distributor list and invoice list. Bruno Magli. So Saks. This is drawers. Here we go. Distributor list. I just see Secaucus, yeah. Secaucus used to have these outlets over there. Bloomingdale's. Okay, here's the Lorenzo and the Lion. 4 eyelet. That's your padded tongue. Da 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 da. Comes in black, brown, brandy, blue, winter white, and olive. What is that? What is that bell I hear? Oh, hang on. I think there's a bell. Something about. Let me just shut this. Okay. Date, customer. I guess these are all Saks. All about those Bruno Maglis. Let's see if they find out anything. They were sent all this. 4 photos, Bruno Magli shoes. Again, a close-up of the bottom, the back, the side, the Lorenzo, the Lion. Very focused on these shoes. Copy of invoice, freight bill, and packing slip, San Francisco store. Okay, UMA Shoe Company, sole importers, and a funny sole importers of Bruno Magli men's shoes. Okay, so there were 35 pairs of black Lions ordered, 18 pairs of brown, 8 pairs of brandy, 12 blue, 12 winter white, and 17 olive. The unit price, $50 for the shoes. $50. And what did a pair of Bruno Maglis sell for? The wholesale price is $50 a pair. Interesting, right? Okay. And then here, 46 pairs. On this one, this is FBI Laboratory. 1 pair of rubber soles. Okay, FBI deleted page information sheet. Evidence, Los Angeles Police Department, Simpson, Orenthal, J. Victims, Simpson, Nicole, Goldman, Ronald. Los Angeles Police Department, August 16th, 1994. Homicide. Here are the exemplars and samples that you and Redacted requested in order to maintain continuity of the evidence. Please retain all the original sample containers as well as any unused portions of the samples. Redacted can return with the evidence to LAPD. The following items are included. Items number 225 to 235, 2, a cloth swatch exemplar from the black dress. Number 86, a cloth swatch exemplar from the shirt. 81, and a cloth swatch exemplar from the pants. 79. Property report. Okay, so this is Simpson Nicole. Property report. 1 emergency brake pad, 1 brake pad, 1 accelerated pad, 1 fibers recovered from driver door, 1 fibers recovered from left rear floorboard, fibers recovered from front transmission hump, fibers recovered from right front floorboard, fibers recovered from passenger door, fibers recovered from right rear floorboard, fibers recovered from rear cargo area, fibers recovered from back side of rear seat, fibers recovered from interior side of rear door, and debris vacuumed from front driver's seat and backrest. The above items were collected from a white Ford Bronco. Okay. Debris vacuumed from item number 33. The above was collected by Criminal 3 Raquel RJ, redacted at the Serology Unit, LAPD Crime Lab. Suspect. Arenthal J. Simpson. Victims Nicole Simpson, Ronald Goldman. Fence homicide. Note, items personally carried from LAPD by SSA turned over to the FBI in 8/25/94. Federal Bureau of Investigation, Washington, D.C., to Ms. Michelle Kessler, the laboratory director. Arenthal James Simpson, suspect Nicole Simpson and Ronald Goldman, victims, homicide. Specimens personally delivered by Criminalist 3 on August 8th, 1994, under cover of communication dated August 8th, 1994. Debris from glove, hair from Goldman, debris from glove, debris from cap, glass microscope slides from cap. 1. Ms. Marsha R. Clark, Deputy District Attorney, Special Trials Division, Bureau of Central Operations. Debris from glove, debris from knit hat, glass microscope slides from knit hat, shoes, pants, debris from Goldman, shoes, pants, socks, shirt, debris from Nicole Simpson's dress, debris from bag containing Goldman's shirt, debris from cap from O.J. Simpson's residence, debris from socks from O.J. Simpson's residence, pillowcase, debris removed from Chicago items, pillowcase, bedsheet, washcloth, socks, athletic bag, debris from towel, O.J.'s car, debris from plastic sheet, O.J.'s car, plastic sheet, debris from shovel, O.J.'s car, hairs, tape lifts from Redacted's Bronco, knit hat, 30 photographs, head hair sample from Goldman, eye hair samples from Goldman, arm hair sample from Goldman, head hair sample from Nicole Simpson, arm hair sample from Nicole Simpson, eye hair samples from Nicole Simpson, head hair sample from O.J. Simpson. Specimens received August 17th, 1994, under cover of communication dated August 16th, 1994. Vacuum sweeping from driver's seat. Vacuum sweeping from item number 33. Fiber sample from driver's door. Fiber sample from left rear floorboard. Fiber sample from right transmission hump. Fiber sample from right front floorboard. Fiber sample from passenger door. Fiber sample from right rear floorboard. Fiber sample from the rear cargo area. Fiber samples from the back side of the rear seat. Fiber sample from the interior of the rear door. Number 233. Hold on one second here. Okay. I just have to get over here just to make sure everything is okay. Fiber sample from On the interior side of the rear door, number 233, fabric sample from Nicole Simpson's dress, fabric sample from Goldman's shirt, fabric sample from Goldman's pants. Specimens received August 29th, 1994, under cover of communication, dated August 29th, 1994, debris from Goldman's shirt, glass microscope slide containing debris from Goldman's shirt, result of examination. So this is the results. Dark brown head hairs and head hair fragments exhibiting negroid characteristics were found on or in specimens Q8, Q10, Q13, Q14, Q18, Q23, and Q47. These hairs fragments exhibit the same microscopic characteristic as hairs found in the K7 specimen and accordingly could have originated from Orenthal J. Simpson, the identified source of the K7 hairs. No other hairs like specimen K7 were found on or in items submitted from the victims. Crime scene and glove recovered outside the O.J. Simpson residence. Negroid head hair fragments that are microscopically dissimilar to the K7 hairs were found on specimens Q10, Q12, and Q10 through Q12 and Q14. These fragments could not be associated to O.J. Simpson. Light brown to blonde Caucasian head hairs fragments that exhibit the same microscopic characteristic as hairs found in specimen K4 were found on or in specimens Q1 and Q7, Q16, Q17, Q21, and Q23. These hairs could have originated from Nicole Simpson, the identified source of the K4 hairs. No hairs like specimen K4 were found on or in specimens Q26 through Q46. Brown to dark brown Caucasian head hairs fragments that exhibit the same microscopic characteristic as hairs found in specimen K1 were found in specimens Q2 and Q3. These hairs could have originated from Ronald Goldman, the identified source of the K1 hairs. No hairs like specimen K1 were found on or in the specimens Q26 through Q46. A light brown Caucasian head hair that is microscopically dissimilar to those found in specimens K1 and K4 was found in the Q3 debris. This hair could not be associated to Ronald Goldman or Nicole Simpson. Dog hairs suitable for future comparison purposes were found on or in items submitted from the victim's crime scene and glove recovered outside the O.J. Simpson residence. Hair comparisons do not constitute a basis for absolute personal identification. Beige nylon carpet type fibers were found, one each, in the Q3 debris and on the Q47 knit hat. These fibers exhibit the same microscopic characteristic as fibers comprising carpet samples submitted from the suspect's Ford Bronco and accordingly could have originated from the Ford Bronco. Dark blue acrylic fibers, microscopically like those found in the composition of the Q47 knit hat, were found in debris that was removed from the Q23 shirt, Ronald Goldman. These fibers could have originated from the Q47 knit hat. Other textile fibers were found in debris recovered from the victim's clothing, crime scene item, and gloves recovered outside O.J. Simpson's residence. These fibers have been mounted on glass microscope slides for possible future comparison. Please call supervisory, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Communication dated August 8, 1994, regarding Orenthal James Simpson, suspect, Nicole Simpson, and Ronald Goldman victims, homicide. Specimens were personally delivered. Puts all the specimens there. We've gone over. Debris removed from the Chicago items. Tape lifts from Cowling's Bronco. Al Collins. Notes: debris in small paper fold, inside a coin envelope, inside a larger white envelope, 2 sides mounted, trace something from number 9. These 31, 3, is it 3 dark hairs in a sealed brown paper bag, hair number 74, received in larger Q3, Q19, received in sealed white envelope. Q3, paper folds, received in trace evidence. Let me see. 3 white paper folds, received in sealed manila envelope, trace evidence. Okay, that's how they received their trace evidence. That's what they're saying, that they received it in white paper folds. And the slides, it's just notes that of everything they got there. Just the handwritten notes, white animal hairs. Debris. Okay, confirmation. Okay, blush blonde. Ultraviolet, wide blue, and just this is their the knit hat. Okay, so qualitative analysis. A small portion of the sample was flattened with a roller and placed on a KBR window for analysis by transmission. A Nicolette 710 FT1R spectrometer and a Nicplan 1 IR microscope infrared were used for the analysis. 128 scans were coded for this spectrum at 4 centimeters resolution. The IR spectrum of Q37 is consistent with that of nylon 66. This is still paper marked eyebrow hairs. This is the Ford. This is about the Bronco. Okay, so here it says 8/19/94, Captain Redacted, Commanding Officer. It says unknown suspect here, Nicole Simpson, victim, homicide, and then it talks about all the stuff they got from the floorboards in the car. This is still all about that. Fiber type, rayon, again, all about the samples. Small portion of each sample, blah, 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 blah. Same thing. DuPont advised that the cross-section of the fiber previously sent to him appears to be DuPont fiber type 1405. This nylon 6 fiber was first commercially produced in Waynesboro, Virginia in 1989. Production was moved to South Carolina in October of 93 and finally discontinued in June of 94. And it says fiber 1407 is a high aspect fiber with a target modification ratio. It was sold primarily to Massland and Collins Aikman for use in automotive. Lesser amounts of 1405 were sold to J.P. Stevens McGee in Japan. Off-quality 1405, up to 10% was used in cheap residential and walkout carpeting. Okay. Renthal James Simpson, suspect. Ronald Goldman, Nicole Simpson, victims, homicide. Philip Van Adder, suspect again. This is one pair of shoe soles comparison. All defense analysis will be performed in the presence of the special master. If the defense analysis requires cutting or separating a sample from an otherwise intact item of evidence, the following procedure will apply. Okay, so just going on if the defense is going to do any testing. Los Angeles Police Department here, detective, it's redacted. Hairs and fibers. Facts, list of stores. Facts, pair of Bruno Magli's. Okay. Film. Philip Van Adder, detective. Okay, here we go. So for the information of the Los Angeles Division, the Laboratory Division is requested by the Los Angeles Police Department to determine the brand name and manufacturer as well as the size of the footwear responsible for leaving bloody footwear impressions at the crime scene of the captioned matter. To date, the laboratory has determined that this shoe design was manufactured by Silga Goma, located in Civitanova, Marche, Italy, and that its distribution in the United States was only by Bruno Magli, UMA of Carlstadt, New Jersey. The shoe was sold with two different style uppers, a low-cut, lace-up boot style named Lorenzo, and a standard lace-up style named Lion. Each of these shoes were available in 6 colors and in size ranges from 6.5 to 13. The sole was a black rubber cup sole, and the uppers were full leather. A copy of the style sheet depicting the profiles of Lorenzo and Lion styles and with style numbers for each color has been forwarded under separate cover. Photographs of the profiles of sample Lorenzo and Lion shoes, photographs of the back of the shoe, and photographs of the outsole design have also been forwarded under separate cover. The laboratory has also determined that the shoes of this design, which made the impression at the crime scene, are a size 12. Redacted of Bruno Magli, UMA, Inc., furnished a computerized printout of each order number, date, and customer to whom size 12 or size 13 shoes were shipped. Distribution was primarily in 1990 through 92, with the first actual shipment beginning in August 1990. On the computerized shoe distribution list, the notation CO was placed alongside those stores such as Sims and Shoe Mart, which are closeout stores to which remaining unsold shoes were shipped to for reduced price sales. Mr. Redacted also furnished the addresses of all 40 stores to which these shoes were shipped. Mr. Redacted also advised that he was the only person who has sold this design shoe in this country. The total sales of size 12 shoes of the Lorenzo and Lion design in this country, as reflected on the computerized sheets, is 296 pairs. The retail value of those shoes was $160. The laboratory has communicated with representatives of both Bruno Magli headquarters in Florence, Italy, as well as the manufacturer of the soles, Silga Goma. Neither is aware of any other U.S. distribution of shoes of this design. The laboratory is furnishing this information to the Los Angeles Police Department, to the Los Angeles Division, to assist in attempts to associate captioned suspect with the purchase of this style shoes. Okay. Any questions or further assistance may be directed to SSA Laboratory. Okay. The Honorable Lance A. Ito regarding Orenthal J. Simpson suspect, Nicole Simpson and Ronald Goldman victims, homicide. The FBI laboratory has received the evidence which you sent for examination. The case has been assigned to examiner redacted, who may be contacted at blah, blah, blah. Please notify the examiner, blah, blah, blah. Notice to state and local crime laboratories. Okay. Field exam conducted at LAPD lab. Evidence acknowledgement. 3 shirts, piece of paper, 6 envelopes. This is just paperwork regarding the evidence. Photographs of shoes. Okay. In trial now. Department of Justice. Subject to Orenthal James Simpson, Nicole Simpson, and Goldman victim. Homicide. Approval is granted. The laboratory, the purpose of this travel is to acquire essential information, data, and outsole samples relative and necessary to the examination performed on the physical footwear evidence in the captioned matter. This information must be acquired and witnessed firsthand and cannot be satisfactorily obtained via telephone or mail. Contact has been established with Silga Goma officials, and they are willing to assist. For the information of DOS and U.S. Embassy, Rome, redacted was born on redacted and has a social security number of redacted, is requested to obtain country clearance for SSA redacted. Okay. Toxicology and chemistry section. Okay, so this is we are also sending you photographs of the socks, which show areas that have already been sampled. In addition, we have included an infrared videotape of the socks, which shows additional blood-stained areas, which are difficult to see with unaided vision. The defense has expressly alleged that the blood stains on the socks, which is represented by the remaining swatch, must have been planted. The only possible source could be the victim Nicole's reference sample. In addition, there is also an implicit allegation that the blood stain found on the crime scene rear gate, which was not collected for 3 weeks, may also have been planted. We would like you to test these items for the presence or the absence of EDTA in order to refute the possibility that the stain on the sock could have come from Nicole's reference sample, 58 or 72. Similarly, we would like for you to test that item 117 to refute the possibility that it could have come from Simpson's reference sample 17. Gil Garcetti, District Attorney. Okay. Okay, here's a letter dated March 7th, 1995. 1 Panasonic RT60 marked in part 22895. 2 enhanced monaural copies of specimen Q1 were made. Okay, we've got that. If in the future authenticity analysis is determined to be necessary in this matter, then the following information and specimens would be needed in order to conduct a meaningful examination: the tape recorder and related equipment used to produce the recording. If the original equipment is no longer available or identifiable, submission of a similar system is very helpful. The recorder and accessories should not be serviced or changed in any manner, but if they have already been damaged or require maintenance since the pertinent recording was made, exact details should be provided: a typed transcript of the questioned recording, a detailed statement under oath, if at all possible, from the person who made the recording, describing the detail exactly how the recording was produced and the conditions that existed at the time, including the power source, the input, the environmental noises present, and the two peoples other than the two people speaking, closeness of speakers to the microphone, and whether or not the tape recorder or microphone was handled or touched during the interview, whether the tape in question was new or used, recorder operation, number of times turned on and off in the record mode, type of keyboard or remote operation for all known recorded events, the use of voice-activated features, etc. After the interview was completed, how many times was the original tape played and by what machines, if the tape was copied, number of times copied, and location of the copies. Okay, this is expedite pursuant to the phone conversation between our office and Mr. Redacted on March 6, 1995. Please find the enclosed audio cassette tape containing a recorded interview of Ms. Redacted by the defense investigator. This interview was conducted as part of the defense investigation for the above referenced case. With respect to this audio cassette, the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office requests that you conduct enhancement analysis in order to determine whether the tape was stopped at any time during the interview to the extent possible. Additional examination is requested to determine whether there are any other physical alterations or editing of the tape. As you are aware, we are currently in trial, and this tape has been removed from evidence solely to undergo such testing. Therefore, we would greatly appreciate the completion of the tests and the return of the tape to our office within 30 days. Thank you for your assistance, Gil Garcetti. Okay, let's see. Waveform creates... This is all about this. Let's see what they get. I am sending, this is in regard to People versus Orenthal James Simpson. I am sending you LAPD item number 17, the reference sample of the defendant in this case, so that you may perform toxicological tests on it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, Gil Garcetti. Orenthal James. Enclosed, please find a photograph and its corresponding negative, which we are submitting to your office for analysis. Should you have any questions, call the Los Angeles Gil Garcetti. Okay. Then we have the Q218 photographic negatives were examined, and the frame depicting a left glove was printed to show maximum image detail. The K770 photographic negatives depicting a left glove labeled item number 37 were examined and compared to the Q218 image. The Q218 left glove has the same observable class characteristics as the K70 left glove. Pursuant to a telephone call on 8/1/95 from redacted of the submitting agency, evidence was returned directly to him at Los Angeles County District Attorney, room 18-129, 210 West Temple Street, Los Angeles, California, 90012. Communication dated July 2nd, 1995. Photographic negatives with 2 frames also submitted. Photograph of Orenthal James Simpson. Let's see. Negatives, including frames of gloves. Memorandum. Let's see. Oh, I'm just going to drink here. Federal Bureau. Communication. Specimens received. 3 20 by 24 color pictures of Orenthal James Simpson, 4 8 by 10 color pictures of Orenthal James Simpson, 1 8 by 10 color picture of enlarged area of the right shoe, 2 8 by 10 color contact sheets depicting the content of 68 negatives, 24 by 6 inch color photographs of the K35 Bruno Magli Lorenzo shoe. Specimen received August 23rd, 1996 under laboratory number blah 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 Fuji color negative strip consisting of negatives 1 and 2 plus color and black and white prints made from these negatives. K35 the Bruno Magli Lorenzo shoe size 12 resubmitted. K36 Bruno Magli Lion shoe size 9.5 resubmitted. Specimen received September 3rd, 1996 under laboratory number blah blah blah. Brochures depicting footwear from Bruno Magli, Ferragamo, and Cole Haan. Results of examination. Color prints of Q243 were prepared as followed. A contact print, 11 by 14 print of Q243, 8 by 10 print of both shoes and legs below the knees, depicted in Q243, 8 by 10 prints of the left shoe and the right shoe with color shift to red, 8 by 10 separate panellure prints of left shoe and of right shoe depicted in Q243, computer prints of shoes depicted in Q243. K35 and K36 were photographed in positions approximating the position of the right shoe depicted in Q243. In addition, color and black and white photographs of the profiles of the K35 and K36 shoes were taken. Examination of the shoes depicted in negative number 1 of Q243 and the prints made from that negative correspond with numerous respective features of the K35 Bruno Magli Lorenzo shoe and the features of the Bruno Magli Lorenzo makeup shoes previously obtained in Italy from the Silga and 4C factories. Those features include shoe sole, the shape, sole profile, and type of shoe sole, including the stitching groove, sole contour in the heel area, cut medial heel corner, and sole edge contours. The sole of the right shoe depicted in Q243 reflects a pattern having several features which correspond with the bottom design of the U2887 Silga sole used on the Bruno Magli Lorenzo shoes. Shoe upper, the high ankle construction of the upper. General features, casual shoe with a dull finish with synthetic non-leather sole. Lace up front, seam positions in upper of shoe. No differences were noted between the shoes depicted in the Q243 photograph and the features present on the Bruno Magli Lorenzo shoes. It is noted that the Bruno Magli Lorenzo model was manufactured in 6 colors, including black. Based on the aforementioned features depicted in the Q243 photograph shoes and their correspondence with the respective unique combined features of the Bruno Magli Lorenzo cup, sole, and upper, it was determined that the shoes depicted in that Q243 photograph are Bruno Magli Lorenzo shoes and are not shoes of another independent origin. Representative photographs were taken of the K78 items and other shoe brochures to illustrate the diverse number of possible sole and upper combinations. Q243 was personally returned to Mr. Redacted on 8/23/96. The K35, K36 shoes were returned under separate cover by express mail to Mr. Redacted. Okay. Trial in progress. These are okay, so results of examination. Subject to examination and confirmation of the original photographs, it was determined that the shoes worn by Orenthal James Simpson, depicted in the QC244 through QC253 items, are Bruno Magli Lorenzo shoes. The shoes worn by Orenthal James Simpson in the Q254 photograph are consistent with the general appearance features of Bruno Magli Lorenzo shoes. However, due to the limited nature of the Q254 photograph, a more detailed examination was not made. The above described items are being returned under separate cover. This is just, again, let's see here. Results of examination. This report supplements the FBI laboratory report to Ms. Michelle Kessler, Laboratory Director, Scientific Investigation Division, dated September 7, 1994. Pursuant to your request, all subsequent FBI laboratory reports will be directed to you. A complete specimen listing is included in this report. The black rayon fibers found in the composition of the K17 fabric sample from Nicole Simpson's dress were found in debris removed from Ron Goldman's shirt. These fibers could have originated from the same source as K17. Dark brown head hairs exhibiting negroid characteristics were found in debris recovered from specimens Q84 through Q86. These hairs exhibit the same microscopic characteristics as hairs found in specimen K7, and accordingly could have originated from Orenthal J. Simpson, the identified source of the K7 hairs. The Q78 and Q79 vacuum sweepings from the O.J. Simpson Bronco were examined for the presence of hairs microscopically like the known head hairs from Nicole Simpson and Ronald Goldman. However, none were found. In the report dated September 7, 1994, the results of the hair comparisons conducted with Nicole Simpson's head hair sample should be amended. Paragraph 2 of that report should read, light brown to blonde, Caucasian head hairs fragments that exhibit the same microscopic characteristics as hairs found in specimen K4 were found on or in specimens Q1, Q7, Q16, Q17, Q20, Q21, and Q23. These hairs could have originated from Nicole Simpson, the identified source of the K4 hairs. No hairs like specimen K4 were found on or in specimens Q26 through Q46. It is noted that of the two specimens containing debris found on the glove recovered from the O.J. Simpson residence, Q1 and Q3, only Q1 contained hairs microscopically like the known hair heads from Nicole Simpson. A head hair like K4 was also found in debris removed from Ronald Goldman's shoes. No textile fibers like those found in debris removed from specimens Q84 through Q86 were found in debris removed from specimen Q47, the knit hat found at the crime scene. Okay. Other laboratory examinations are in progress, and you will be subsequently advised of the results and of the disposition of the submitted items. Partial report. This report supplements the FBI laboratory report. Black rayon fibers found in the composition of the K-17 fabric sample Nicole Simpson's dress were found in debris removed from Ron Goldman's shirt. Okay, we just read this. They put that in twice. Okay. Let's see here. The knit hat, the headband, the knit hat. Again, this is the specimen samples. Shoe sales again. Results of examination. This report supplements the one. It was determined that the footwear impressions depicted the Q48 through Q77 photographs correspond with the sole designed as U2887, which has been produced by Silga Goma, since January 1990. The U2887 soles are compression molded unit soles produced exclusively for Silga, who then sells them to various manufacturers for utilization on their shoes. Although this sole has been distributed to several footwear companies throughout Italy, information obtained to date has indicated that this sole was only sold on shoes in the United States on 2 styles of men's Bruno Magli shoes. Distribution of those Bruno Magli shoes was limited. Photographs of the U2887 soles and the K35, K36 shoes and information regarding the distribution of the Bruno Magli shoes has been furnished under separate cover to the Los Angeles Police Department and the Los Angeles Division of the FBI. Any additional information acquired by the laboratory regarding distribution of the U2887 soles on finished footwear will be furnished in a subsequent report. It was determined that the footwear impressions represented in the all those photographs correspond with the left European size 46 U2887 sole K28, and it was determined that the footwear impressions represented in those other numbers of photographs correspond with the right European size 46 U2887 sole K29. The European size 46 soles, as represented by K28, K29, K33, and K34, are sold on U.S. size 12 shoes, as reflected in the K35 item and based on industry confirmation and sizing reference information. Shoes which are manufactured for sale in the United States, but which are fitted with European size 46 U2887 soles are sized and sold as U.S. size 12 shoes. In addition, the impressions represented in the Q50 and Q69 photographs, although limited in detail, correspond with the size and contour of the right European size 46 sole. The impressions depicted in the Q57, 58, 63, 67, and 76 photographs have not retained sufficient detail to enable a detailed comparison with the U2887. It was determined that the shoes depicted in the K32 photographs are not identical to the K35, K36 Bruno Magli shoes or the U2887 Silga soles. On September 1st, 1994, item number 33, a beige colored floor mat, was treated with luminol and photographed. Photographs of the luminol processing are described in Q100. Subsequent to that treatment, item number 33 was treated with leucocrystal violet. Photographs of the leucocrystal violet processing are described in Q101. These procedures were utilized to enhance blood impressions on item 33. Examination of the impressions on item 33 and attempts to improve the visualization of those impressions is ongoing. Upon completion, the results will be provided in a subsequent report. In large color, photographic prints were made from the Q82 and Q83 negatives. Some of these prints were provided to the Armed Forces Institute of Pathology to attempt to improve the visualization and interpretation of marks on the victim Nicole Simpson's back. which are depicted in the Q82, Q83 photographs. You will be advised of the results in the Q82, Q83 photographs. You will be advised of the results of these continuing examinations upon completion. The Q82 and Q83 photographs and enlargements are enclosed herewith. The Q82 and Q83 negatives have been personally returned to a representative of the Los Angeles Police Department. It was determined that the footwear impressions depicted... Did we just read all this? We just read this. Beige colored floor mat, yes. We just read all that. Okay. Facts from UMAC. Facts list of shoes. Okay, specimens personally delivered by Philip Van Adder. Okay, result. This report supplements bluish black cotton fibers that are alike microscopically were found in specimens Q1, Q3, Q23, Q27. These fibers could have originated from the same source. The source of these fibers is unknown. A blue cotton fiber microscopically like fibers found in the specimen K19 was found in the Q7 specimen. While K19 cannot be eliminated as a possible source of the Q7 fiber, the commonness of this type of fiber limits its evidential value. Off-white chitin fibers that appear bloody were found in or on specimens Q1, Q3, Q7, Q8, and Q47. These fibers are similar to fibers found in specimen K18. While K18 cannot be eliminated as a possible source of these off-white cotton fibers, the commonness of this type of fiber limits its evidential value. Okay, a blue cotton fiber was found on the glass microscope slide. That source of that fiber could not be determined. Other laboratory examinations are in process. Not much there. Okay, here's what this. White cotton, these, we just read this. Put that in twice. Eight by 10 photographs with subject. Okay. Photographs, Philip Van Adder. One pair of outsoles received from Silica Goma. Communication, head hair samples. So they have, here they have samples, head hair samples from Philip Van Adder, one of the detectives, and Mark Furman, and Michelle Kessler. A dog hair sample from Cato, a dog hair sample from Chachi, Okay, this report, let's say no hairs microscopically found like those comprising specimens K59 and K60 were found on or in items previously submitted from the crime scene. Victims are on the leather glove recovered at the O.J. Simpson residence. Blue cotton fibers microscopically like those found in specimen K19 Goldman's jeans were found in specimens Q1, Q20, Q21, and Q23. While K19 cannot be eliminated as a possible source of the above-mentioned fibers, the common nature of this type of fiber limits its evidential value. It is noted that specimens Q20, Q21, and Q23 represent debris removed from the clothing of Ronald Goldman. Brown cashmere fibers, microscopically like those comprising the lining of the leather glove, recovered from the crime scene, item number 37, and the lining of the leather glove recovered from the O.J. Simpson residence, item number 9, were found in specimens Q8 of the knit hat and Q23 Goldman shirt. These fibers could have originated from either glove. It is noted that the left glove, item 37, and the right glove, item 9, are alike with respect to color, design, size, construction, and fiber composition, and could be a matching pair. Brown wool fibers, white wool fibers, and black wool fibers were found in specimens Q4 and Q5. These fibers are microscopically like wool fibers comprising the brown and white Glenbrook cap, Q61, item number 27, and accordingly could have originated from the cap. It is noted that specimens Q4 and Q5 represent debris removed from the Glenbrook cap. Other laboratory examinations are in progress, and you will be subsequently advised of their results and of the disposition of the submitted items. Okay, no hairs microscopically. Did we just... This is the same one. Okay. Hair sample for mustache, goatee. Black goatee fake. Black mustache fake. Okay, hair sample from Phil Van Adder and Mark Furman. Okay, so it says no head hairs microscopically like those found in specimens K37 through K52 were found on the items previously submitted from the victims, the crime scene, and from specimens Q1 and Q3. A light brown, artificially treated head hair exhibiting Caucasian characteristics was found on specimen Q19. A dyed head hair fragment was also found on specimen Q15. This hair and fragment are dissimilar to specimens K1, K4, K40 through K46, and K48 through K50. White dog hairs, microscopically like those found in specimen K54, were found in specimens Q1, Q3, Q7, Q8, Q20, Q21, Q22, Q24, and Q25. These hairs could have originated from the same source of the K54 dog hairs. A black fur hair, microscopically like those found in specimen K53, was found in specimen Q25. This hair could have originated from the same source as the K53 dog hairs. A black animal hair that exhibits both similarities and differences to hairs found in the specimen K53 was found in Q7 specimen. No conclusion could be reached as to whether or not this hair could have originated from the same source as the K53 dog hairs. It is noted that dog hairs do not possess enough individual, unique microscopic characteristics to identify them to a particular dog to the exclusion of other similar dogs. Other laboratory examinations are in progress, and you will be subsequently advised of their results and of the disposition of the submitted items. Okay. We already read that. That's another copy of it. It was determined that the footwear impressions represented correspond with the left European size 46. 12 soles. We already read this one. Comparisons of the footwear. Okay, and then with European size 46 left or right soles, a few of the impressions as noted below are too indistinct for detailed comparison. The K35 and K36 shoes were provided by Uma Bruno Magli and remained from the 1990 to 92 distribution of these shoes in the United States. K35 is a U.S. size 12 Bruno Magli style shoe with a European size 46 U2887 sole. K36 is a U.S. size 9.5 Bruno Magli Lion shoe with a European size 42 U2887 sole. U.S. sales of shoes having the U2887 sole designed by Silga of Italy and distributed through Uma Bruno Magli were very limited. Total distribution of U.S. size 12 shoes was only 299 pairs, comprised of 190 pairs of Lorenzo, 109 pairs of Lion. The Reebok shoes of Orenthal James Simpson are sized U.S. size 12, European size 46.5. A partial impression of the Q148 envelope corresponds with the U2887 sole design. The partial and otherwise limited nature of that impression preclude more detailed comparisons. Two areas of the lower front side of the legs of Q102 jeans contain at least two partial footwear impressions, which may have been made by Footwear with a U2887 sole design. In addition, one area of the front of the Q103 dress contains a partial heel impression which shares some similar features with the K28 left heel. Due to the limited nature of those impressions, more detailed comparisons were not made. A pattern injury on victim Nicole Simpson's back, depicted in Q82 and Q83 photographs, contains features which have a general correspondence with some of the contour and general size features of the K28, K29 soles. However, there is insufficient detail presented in that patterned injury to enable additional interpretation. Due to the limited detail and nature of the impression, areas of the beige-colored floor mat also represented in Q100, Q101, and Q173 through Q201 photographs, a positive association could not be made with the U2887 sole pattern. No examinations were conducted of the Q164 through Q169, Q170 through 172, Q185, 186, or Q202 photographs. None of the bloody footwear impressions of the sidewalk depicted throughout Q46 through Q77 and Q105 through Q146 photographs were associated with the design of the K37, K55, 56 footwear. Enclosed are photographs representing all of the photographic exposures, specialized photographs of the jeans and dress, and improved visualization of the Q83 photograph. Okay, so there's photographs. The head hairs removed from or found in specimens Q149 and Q159 through Q159 do not represent a suitable known hair sample. Therefore, these hairs could not be used as a standard for comparison with previously recovered hairs. No hairs microscopically like the known head hair standards from the victims K1 and K4 were found on specimens Q160 and Q through Q162. The black animal fur hair previously found in specimen Q25, debris from Goldman's shirt bag, is microscopically like dog hairs recovered from items submitted from Ronald Goldman Q149 through Q159, and accordingly could have originated from the same source. No apparent interchange of textile fibers were detected between specimens Q160 through Q162 and items previously submitted from the crime scene victims and from the leather glove recovered outside the residence of the suspect. So she had marks on her back, and he had marks on his jeans that could be like that Bruno Magli. So he's stomping on her or kicking her and him. Allegedly, right? Okay, this is the Reebok shoes. We already read that. Hat, baseball cap, still more evidence. Results. The design evident in the questioned footwear impressions in blood previously submitted in this case do not correspond with the design characteristics of the shoes depicted in K64. K64 is returned herewith. Now, K64, 36 color photographs depicting the shoes of officers, okay? So they took 36 color photographs depicting the shoes of officers, and the result was that they do not correspond with the characteristics of the shoes depicted in K64. Q203 and an electrostatic lift of Q203 have been photographed. Copies of these photographs and the lift are returned herewith. No footwear impressions of the U2887 Silga design represented by the K22 and K31 items were present on the Q203 item. And Q203 was a piece of paper with footwear impressions. Here's some more pair of socks, cloth swatch, plastic vial from cutting, bloodstained cutting from victim's dress, blood swatch from Goldman, blood sample from Nicole Simpson, blood samples from Orenthal J. Simpson, cloth swatch control, unstained cutting from victim's dress, plastic vial control from item number 13A. For your information, Supervisory Special Agent of the FBI Laboratory traveled to the Silga Goma shoe factory in Italy on July 23, 1995, where he examined the U2887 molds and obtained left and right soles molded in the European size 46. U2887 mold. These soles were then taken the same day to the factory where they were attached to Bruno Magli uppers on the 4C American size 12 lasts and made into a pair of Bruno Magli shoes, American size 12. These shoes were built in an identical manner to and on the same size 12 lasts as the Bruno Magli shoes of this design, which had been previously manufactured by these same factories for shipment to Uma Bruno Magli and distribution in the United States. The pair of Bruno Magli shoes and the American size 12 shoes last were turned over to a representative of the Los Angeles Police Department on February 13, 1995. Photographs of the size 12 Bruno Magli shoes and lasts and photographs taken at the Silga and 4C factories are enclosed herewith. Results of the examination. The report supplements the report to the office. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Let's see, it should be amended. It was determined that the footwear impressions represented in, okay, all those cube photographs correspond with the left European size 46 U2887 sole, and it was determined that the footwear impressions represented in those numbers photographs correspond with the right European size 46 U2887 sole. The European size 46 soles, as represented in those photos, are used on U.S. size 12 shoes as reflected in K35 item, and based on the industry confirmation and sizing reference information, shoes which are manufactured for sale in the United States, but which are fitted with European size 46 U2887 soles are sized and sold as U.S. size 12 shoes. Comparisons were made of the footwear impressions depicted in Q48 through Q77 and Q105 through Q116 photographs, with the various Q2887 Silga outsoles described as K20 through K31 and K33 through K36. The majority of the discernible footwear impressions depicted in those photographs correspond with U2887 design and specifically with the European size 46, left or right sole. A few of the impressions, as noted below, are too indistinct for detailed comparison. Shoe print, let's see. The analyses were performed on approximately 2 by 5 millimeter samples. The procedure was designed to identify EDTA and blood stains of approximately 1 by 1 millimeter. After the samples were cut, they were placed in a small amount of water to extract EDTA. After 40 minutes, the samples were filtered and analyzed by liquid chromatography, mass spectrometry. The items submitted in FBI laboratory are being retained in the laboratory. The laboratory. We already read that. A lot of duplicates here, so we might make it through this 475 pages in this part too, which would be good. So I still have to go over the Scott Peterson stuff. Okay, this is his K68 blood samples from Orenthal J. Simpson. Result of examination. This report supplements previous laboratory reports. No methamphetamine was identified in the K68 blood. The submitted evidence is being retained. No methamphetamine. I am sending you, LAPD, item number 17, the reference sample of the defendant in this case, so that you may perform toxicology tests. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Received K68 from UJ, packaged same as when returned to UJ in February. Microscopic analysis of purple top, only one hole. Approximately 2 milliliters of blood, extracted 1 milliliter from methamphetamine and basics. Added 100 ng of D5 methamphetamine and D3 amphetamine. Also 3 standards of control and a blank were run at 20, 50, 150, 0 ng milliliters. It was negative for methamphetamines and negative for basic drugs. This is all the okay, this was specimens personally delivered by supervising investigator on April 14, 1995. Results of examination. No head hairs microscopically like those found in specimen K69 were found on or in items previously submitted from the crime scene. Victims. FBI laboratory report dated September 7, 1994. No human hairs were found on specimen Q208 through Q217. The submitted items were returned to investigator redacted on April 17th of 1995. Okay, let's see here. The results of hair and fiber examinations conducted on evidence submitted in your case entitled People versus Orenthal J. Simpson can be found in FBI laboratory reports previously submitted to your office. The results of other hair and fiber examinations and comparisons are included in copies of the FBI laboratory notes previously furnished to your office. The following information reflects laboratory notes pertaining to your requests. Head hair like K7, O.J. Simpson, negroid hair fragments not suitable, cat hair, wool fibers like Cap, see report dated 1/5/95, white animal hair fragment not suitable, several dark brown hair, human hair fragments not suitable, dyed Caucasian head hair fragment unlike knowns, blonde Caucasian head hair fragment not suitable, brown Caucasian head hair fragment not suitable, light brown Caucasian head hair treated unlike knowns. Blonde Caucasian head hairs like K4, white dog hair like K54, cat hair, green cotton fiber, white dog hairs like K54, black dog fur hair like K53, Q149 to Q159, dog hairs, Caucasian limb hair fragment not suitable, negroid limb hairs, negroid pubic hair, negroid hair fragment not suitable, miscellaneous textile fibers, negroid limb hair, head hair fragments like victims known, blue acrylic fiber like Q47 knit hat. Okay. Notes. They're talking about the shoe imprints again. Enclosed, please find some black and white photographs taken at Bundy on Friday, September 1st, 1995. These photos reflect various blemishes found in the tiles on the walkway. Okay. Imprint patterns found on the right leg of Ronald Goldman's blue jeans are like test imprint patterns produced by Ronald Goldman's shirt and are consistent with having been produced by Ronald Goldman's shirt. The imprint patterns found on the blue jeans, however, could not be positively associated with Ronald Goldman's shirt. Imprint patterns found on the envelope and piece of paper recovered from the crime scene are like test imprint patterns produced by Ronald Goldman's blue jeans and are consistent with having been produced by Ronald Goldman's blue jeans. The imprint patterns found on the paper and envelope, however, could not be positively associated with Goldman's blue jeans. No imprint patterns like those produced by Ronald Goldman's shoes were found on the blue jeans piece of paper or envelope. The submitted items are being returned separately. Okay. Due to intense media interest in captioned matter and the potential prejudicial impact that public dissemination could have on pending criminal proceedings, the following information should be handled on a strict need-to-know basis and should not be disseminated outside the FBI. Any media inquiries should be directed to the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, regarding Airtel from the director to Los Angeles dated 10/3/94, captioned as above, HQ file 95A HQ 107/5008. Enclosed for each receiving office are 4 photographs of Bruno Magli shoes, styles Lorenzo and Lion. For the information of the Bureau and receiving offices, the FBI laboratory examiners have been able to conclude through examination of bloody footwear impressions left at Simpson homicide crime scene that the murderer wore size 12 Bruno Magli style Lorenzo or Lion shoes. Both styles have the same tread pattern and sole, with the Lorenzo being a low-cut lace-up boot style and the Lion being a standard lace-up style. The sole is a black rubber cup sole, and the uppers are full leather. The shoe was made in Italy, retail for $160, and has very unique sole and tread characteristics, which allowed examiners to reach this conclusion with certainty. Investigation has determined that this shoe is very unique and was only distributed between August 1990 and May 1993 to 40 retail stores in the United States. It was also determined that only 296 pairs of those shoes were size 12. It should be noted that some of the 40 stores marked closeout received unsold shoes from other stores for reduced price sales. Investigation has also determined that O.J. Simpson wears size 12 shoes and that Nicole Brown Simpson did own Bruno Magli shoes. The Los Angeles Police Department has requested FBI assistance in an attempt to locate records and witnesses regarding the sale of the shoes in question to anyone, specifically to Simpson or his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson. Inasmuch as the Simpson murder trial has commenced, expeditious coverage of leads set forth herein is requested. Each receiving office is requested to contact the Bruno Magli retail distributor noted below and conduct the following investigation. Under no circumstances should the interviewing agents mention that this investigation concerns O.J. Simpson or the homicide investigation in Los Angeles, California. Interviewing agents should state that this is a routine investigation and that they are attempting to track size 12 Bruno Magli shoes in style Lorenzo or Lion. Bruno Magli has furnished the FBI with order numbers, dates, and the numbers of size 12 shoes received by each retail store. Agents should attempt to obtain any records of the receipt, sales, or return of those shoes. If the company has customer sales records, those records should be reviewed by agents in order to identify all purchasers of the shoes in question, specifically O.J. and Nicole Brown Simpson. If the company does not have any records, agents should identify all salespeople and managers during the period in question. Those people should be interviewed in an effort to elicit their recollection of the sales of the shoes in question to anyone, specifically to any celebrities or celebrity family members. If they mention Simpson or his ex-wife, treat that as information, as routine, and note any other individuals that they mention. Agents should also inquire about lists of regular customers on file or the possibility of a company representative who handles celebrity accounts. If identified, the company representative can be interviewed as noted above. Leeds, Baltimore, at Chevy Chase, Maryland, Saks Fifth Avenue. Order, received 2 pairs of size 12 and received 1 pair of size 12. And then the Boston, Burlington, Massachusetts at Taymor. And they're just writing down what everyone received in the size 12s in all the stores there. So these are Bruno Magli, her sales slips, men's shoes, Windsor, Brody, Lion, receipt. That's a bargain, $89 there. I think, are these all the slips for those shoes that could be found in the stores? Okay, here's the samples of the shoes again, the pictures of the sole. All the sales receipts. These receipts are sent to Los Angeles with the credit card slips, if possible, or names of the purchasers based on American Express charge slip. It should be noted that some of the signatures are not legible, and therefore are also included due to the shoe types being bought by these individuals as set forth in Lead from Los Angeles. Los Angeles should also be aware that the Bruno Magli store did not have the size shoe on their sales slips, and that are enclosed from Phoenix. So that is also another reason why all sales slips are being sent to Los Angeles. Redacted at the Bruno Magli shoe store has agreed to let the FBI have use of these sales slips without the required subpoena. As soon as the investigation in Los Angeles has been completed, please send the sales slips back to the Phoenix division. As no further investigation remains in the Phoenix division, this matter will be placed in an RUC status. Denver recontacted the store, Tom James of Denver, East Tennessee Avenue. In the reference, Denver Airtel store was interviewed on blah, 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 and was an enclosure that reflects all records that Tom James of Denver store would have concerning the size 12 Magli shoe at the information. Let's see here. All right, I don't know. Someone advised that O.J. Simpson has never been a customer at Tom James of Denver. If O.J. Simpson was a customer, that person would have knowledge of it. Okay. That is it. That's it, guys. So, wow. We made it through that. So, I don't know if they're going to release any more. The most of this had to do with the Bruno Maglis. And the rest of it had to do with that letter that woman was writing. And that was some story in there, like through her life. And then, I don't know, it was just crazy, wasn't it? But we actually finished this 475 pages. We still have to go through the Scott Peterson from the prosecution, that stuff they filed, which I think was like, I don't know how many pages that was. But we have to finish that. At least we finished this. And we'll see if there's anything more that comes out of this. Now, later on, we'll be having an auction. I'm not sure when. I do want to get a walk-in. It looks like it might rain again. So I have to be careful and time it accordingly. But I will get back to you guys very soon. I don't know why Jimmy has the heat on. I have no freaking idea. Just pulled something out of my thumb. It felt like it might have been one of those like things from the pine cone. It felt like a cactus thing. But anyway, I will get back to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on the replay, I appreciate it. Please give it a thumbs up, share it out there, and we'll keep it in part of our case files. Thanks so much. God bless, and prayers. Please stay well. Love you guys. Bye. Over here. See where you guys are so I can shut this down.